Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So we are back Tuesday at 11 o'clock for our Hancock Park market update for the week of October 20th. And I've already pulled up the current listings in Hancock Park. We have 98. So that is an increase of 5 listings since last week. If you'll recall, we had a steady decline from 101 at the max to 96 to 93, and now we are climbing back with 5 added. Still record numbers every week. Let's take a look at how many sold in the last 7 days. Okay, this week we had 9. If you'll recall, the week before we had 5, which was a disappointing number, considering we had 50 escrows. The week before we had 11, so we've climbed up to 9 in the sold category. And then let's look here at the number of escrows. $49 escrows. So roughly the same number of escrows as last week, with an additional 5 for sale, an additional 5 roughly that have sold, a doubling of the number of sales over the week on week. So let's look at the actual sold closings for the last 7 days of closings. Starting with highest to lowest. Looks like we've had a couple over 3 million, none in the 4s or 5s or 6s. If you'll recall, we have something like 20 plus over $4 million.
Eric, yeah. May I interject? This is Sandy. I wanted to tell everybody about a listing that closed off market. I wasn't involved in the sale, but it's a neighbor in Brookside. The house was sold in 2013 for $3,300,000. It sold on the 17th of September, but it's now in the public record for $5,038,000. So it's
wow, Brookside. Yes, that's a heck of a number.
That's the big number. Yes, and the previous owner sent me an email and said she'd sold her house, and said that she wanted me to know that there was some discounting and wanted me to have the correct price in case our listing at 801 Longwood needed an appraisal for a loan, but it didn't. We didn't have a loan appraisal. It was all cash. So anyway, that everybody would like to hear about that. It's a fabulous house. It's been on the homes tours and garden tours, and we have new neighbors. So
which house is that? Is that the one on 8th?
It's 4922 West 8th Street.
Is that one that's sort of hidden in the back that sold a few years ago?
Well, it sold in 2013. So it faces Wilshire. It's in between Longwood and Tremaine.
And it's in the middle of the block there, yes, behind the hedges.
Of 8th Street. Yeah, so you can't really see it, but you can see the stream. If you look through the foliage, you can see the stream as you walk from Longwood maybe to Tremaine.
Actually, that is easily, I'll never forget that house. I always felt like that if I was ever going to have a bunch of money, I would want that house. That is a beautiful, and I remember the furniture and the design of the house was exceptional as well.
Yeah, and a man who was a previous owner I've known about 3 or 4 owners of that house, and Jack Lawrence, he's an interior designer, but he's really very high-end, incredible, talented guy. So he's the one who did a lot of that work. But each owner has added something as time has gone on. So
at that time, I remember
time, but I wanted everybody to know that. Yes.
And now you're saying it's sold in the fives. What did they do to it?
Really, I don't think they did very much. I haven't actually been in the house since they purchased it. No, I did early on, so I don't know that they did very much. But anyway, $5,038,000.
Incredible.
Yes.
Was that the biggest sale in Brookside history?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, by far.
And the one that you have at 801, what's that going for?
It's pending. We will close at the end of the week.
What's the asking?
The asking was $4,500,000.
So that's a heck of a sale too.
Yes, it is.
How many square feet did the 8th Street house have?
I mean,
approximately.
The square footage of the 8th Street house, 5,908.
I see.
The area, and the lot is, what is the lot? 18,711.
And that includes the brook, right?
Yes.
So it's not all usable 18,000, but it's a magnificent piece of property.
Right, and it has sort of a short backyard. It has a pool in the back and the stream on the west side of it.
Great, thank you for that. Anybody else have any, before we get started, any off-market information? All right, first we'll start with the 9 listings that have sold in the last week, with the highest to the lowest. This is 145 South Van Ness, 3,800 square feet for $3.775, almost $1,000 a square foot. This is south of First at 10,700 square feet by Colette Dornblum of Compass. It's got a sort of traditional East Coast look to it. Very nicely done. And 3s for this part of Van Ness are pretty standard. Let me know if any of you have seen any of these. This is 436 North Plymouth. This was a blowout sale, was in escrow almost the day it was listed because it's extremely unique. Apparently built by a guy, the story goes, in Pasadena for himself, a developer, and then for whatever reason, he's not going to live there. So we put it on the market, but it's extremely unique. 5 baths, 2,850 square feet. So it got over $1,150 a square foot for $3.3 million, listed by Steven Senegram of Keller Williams Larchmont. Take a look at this. This is I'm seeing this more and more. The new construction has this farmhouse, black, dark colors. Extremely unique, well thought out house with incredible design features. Check that out. That's the living, dining, kitchen. All open floor plan. Look at that ceiling. I don't think you can take a bad photograph of this place.
Was this Steve Senegrams?
Yeah.
Eric? Oh, okay.
That's what he said.
Definitely a showpiece. Definitely the kind of house you want to show your friends, have people over so that they can ooh and ah. At 1,156 square feet. 301 South Lucerne closed. That's the one on the corner. It was with Pete. It is still with Pete Bonacore. Finally closed. Was listed last year. If I remember right, it had a little bit of a possible foundation issue. It was leaning a little bit on the north side.
Yes, it was.
Only 2 photos here. Different colors.
No interior.
Incredible looking lot. 3,300 square feet for $3 million. big 13,542 square foot lot on the corner of Lucerne and 3rd. So busy. Congrats to Pete. 867 South Muirfield down in Brookside. 6 beds, 3 baths, 3,800 square feet. $743 a square foot. Almost 10,000 square foot lot sold for $2.825. That is a often reached number these days in Brookside. Sold by Scott Nell of Keller Williams in the Valley. Beautiful photos. Corner lot. Well done. Very designer, almost so much so that it looks like, I mean, it's definitely staged. I wonder if it was remodeled prior to. It's got the original thin slat floors. Beautiful lot. Very, oh, look at that doorknob. That's a beauty. Very good location, inner part. However, Muirfield is getting busier and busier at rush hour because Waze likes to use it as a cut-through option to Highland. Here's 458 South Highland, listed by Basia Gradon. 6 beds, 4 baths. I believe we looked at this last week and it was in escrow. And it's 1 house down from 6. So it's a relatively noisy location. Got $2,150,000, which is a heck of a price. Anything over $2 million in Highland is a good price. $676 a foot. Big lot though, on the bigger side for Highland, $10,500. Recently redone, except for that tile kitchen. Otherwise, looks incredible. Beautiful floor work. This is up in the attic, 3rd floor. Very nice. $2,150,000 is a good price there, especially for that location. 634 South Citrus in Hancock Park adjacent. Cute little street. 3 beds, 3 baths, 2,000 square feet. Got $872 a square foot. 1.822 million. Jimmy Martinez at Compass. This is a nice little Spanish-looking house. Also looks like it's been done a little bit. Maybe not too much. Very cute entertainers area back in the backyard. All right. 107 North Wilton. This is a little bit of busier street. 2 beds, 2 baths, 1,280 square feet for $1,587,000. This is a rare mid-century modern. Don't see these very often. Got $1,240 a square foot. Jeremy Fisher at Normand.
Wow.
That's the kind of price you would get when you're talking about a very small house. And totally unique as well. Gosh, I feel like I've walked through this house when it was for sale, and it was a major fixer maybe 5 years ago. And clearly somebody bought it and fixed it up dramatically. Look at that tree. That is a beautiful, I wonder if that's a weeping willow. So for all those mid-century modern lovers, this was a real catch, even though it's small. $1,587,000 is quite a price. 555 North Bronson. on the east side of Larchmont Village, 1,519,000. I think it was another Jimmy Martinez. Almost $1,000 a square foot, 1,538 square feet, 2 beds, 2 baths, with a very small 4,000 square foot lot. That's a pretty good number for a 4,000 square foot lot. Nicely done. Beautiful kitchen. Very small back area. Looks like they've maximized the space quite nicely. 1287 South Highland, the last one on the sales list today. 3 beds, 3 baths, 1,450 square feet on a 5,400 square foot lot. Got $915,000, which is $631 a square foot. I'm guessing that this was a fixer. Jennifer Stein, Keller Williams Larchmont. This is at San Vicente, so it's a little bit farther down in the Longwood Highland area. So that's far enough down that the prices shift downward, and so looks like it's in good shape. 1,450 square feet for $915,000 just off of San Vicente. That part of Highland is actually a small residential street, but that close to San Vicente, you're getting a lot of cut-through traffic for sure. I know I cut through right there to get to the busy part of Highland, so I don't have to get on La Brea. So that's not great, but you got a good price. $915 for that area is good. All right, next, let's look at the last week of new listings. We had 9 sell, and we had 5 come on. Oh, one sec. Do that again. Last 7 days.
Somebody's mute is on.
That's interesting. I thought I saw 5 come on. Now I've got 12. 12 new listings, is that right? Let's back up here. Last 7 days active. Okay, so we've got 12 new listings for the week. Not sure what happened there with the numbers, but 12 new listings, starting with the highest to the lowest, and this is over the last 7 days. So that means almost 2 listings per day coming on the market, and some of them appear to be a little bit on the outskirts in what would not necessarily be considered Hancock Park. 201 South Plymouth. Wow, that is a beautiful house. 201 South Plymouth is going to be right off of Larchmont, and but inside of the Upper Windsor Square area. So it's a good block by Rick Llanos. Did he have this on the market before? Did I see this before?
No.
Is this brand new?
Yes.
Wow. Well, Rick's had a lot of $5 million listings come on the market in the last 3 months.
He's on fire.
Beautiful.
Looks like everything's updated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cedar room. Beautiful brick in the back. Looks like a lot of landscaping in the back, not a lot of yard. I mean, lawn. Side entrance to the parking. Little guest house above the parking. Interesting lot. Looks like a lot of it is that front yard. And then you've got a smaller backyard in this case. But sure is an impressive looking house. Something that anybody with an ego would be proud to have and show off to their friends. 560 North Cahuenga. This is up in the east side of Little Hancock Park. 2.6 million listed by Conrad de la Garza of Redfin. Oh boy. 3 beds, 4 baths, $21.89. We'll want to watch this one.
Yeah.
Because see if he can do it. Redfin is not traditionally a very good listing agency here in LA. They tend to not be very coordinated, and they have people on salary versus on commission. 2.6 million is a big number in that neighborhood. 1,185 square feet. Let's take a look and see if we see that kind of number. Only 2189 square feet. That is not a huge house, although it is very pretty. Oh, that's a big back guest house. And it's a small yard for sure. And it looks like it's got that turf, artificial grass. So that seems a little bit, I mean, I hope I'm not judging based on the brokerage, but it seems a little bit optimistic for a 2,100 square foot house in that neighborhood. 128 North Ridgewood Place. I've seen this one on Instagram with Allie Jack. Is that right? Yes, Allie Jack, Bonnie Bryant, and Joe Reichling. Is Allie working with Joe and Bonnie? I think they must be on the same team. I didn't realize. Unless it's a dual brokerage. They're all at Compass. Does anybody know if Allie is with Bonnie and Joe on a team?
Don't know.
Okay, she listed 2 properties this week. Let's see if the other one is also all 3 of them. I spoke with Joe yesterday about my listing on Windsor. He's such a nice guy. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,700 square feet, 2.2 million. That's $788 a square foot. Ridgewood is a cute little side street off of Wilton that doesn't really go very far, so it's not really a cut-through street. $2,788 square feet for $2.2 million. Back house, pool. Wow. Pretty much no backyard, all pool. $788 a square foot is not that much. However, no backyard. 4717 Wilshire. This is going to be a townhouse. $1,785,000. That is a big number for a townhouse. 2,500 square feet. Micah Miller of the RFG Group. Really effing good real estate group. Get it? RFG? Oh, sorry, it's RFC. 239 North Ridgewood, 3 beds, 2 bath, 1,854 square feet on Ridgewood again. Is that one house across the street? 128 and 239. No, it's one block down. Very close to Beverly. So there are going to be some cut through traffic there. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet for $159. That's $857 a square foot. The other one was 2,100 square feet for, I'm sorry, the other one was more than that, wasn't it? 2,700 square feet for only 400,000 more, 600,000 more. So this one was 800, a little bit more per square foot. Harry Chung of Dream Realty. Nice looking kitchen. Got a little guest or a little back garage. No lawn, a little lawn in the front. 159 seems like a reasonable price on Ridgewood with 2,100 square feet. Sorry, 1,800 square feet. All right, 4,091 West 88th Street, and this is in the Wilshire Park neighborhood. 5 beds, 3 baths, 2,400 square feet for $1,580,000. This is a neighborhood where you can get 2,500+ square foot 2-story house for around $1 million. Mike Glickman is the agent. So at $1,580,000, that's a pretty high price. And so I would expect it to be in pretty good shape. Not seeing it so far. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been done much except for the floors, which I'm not in love with. Everything else looks like dated countertops. That's an interesting feature. They turn the water on when they take a photo of the sink. Hadn't seen that before. Just to prove that the plumbing works. Look at that. Another one with the water on. Yeah, I'm not seeing this. There must be something more to it. Because this needs work. It does have a 2-story house in the back. So that might be the kicker. But this definitely needs work. 6926 Clinton, just south of Melrose. Where is this? This has got to be, is that Larchmont? And that's, let's see where this is. Highland. So this is over at the Hancock Park adjacent neighborhood. Uh-oh. I'm running out of juice. Boy, you know what? I'm going to have to put this on hold, folks. Please give me 2 minutes while I go get my charger. Okay, I'm back. So 6926 Clinton in Hancock Park adjacent, 3 beds, 4 baths, 2,100 square feet, 1,700 square foot lot. Let's take a look at that lot. Is that even possible? I don't think I've ever heard of a lot that small with a house on it.
I have a feeling it's part of it, a unit of a, like a condo type thing,
Yeah, it's like
a
a.
co-op
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
That's
don't
what I have a
forget,
feeling.
So it must be just one of these two properties here.
right. Don't forget it's Clinton Street. Those are tiny lots.
Yeah, but that's very, very tiny. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I don't think anything's that tiny.
Who's going to pay 1.5 for that?
Wait, who has that?
Grant Linscott at Keller Williams Los Feliz.
Can you look at the property profile? At the
Oh, it's,
tax?
that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's
let's
a
look
brand
at
new
that.
townhouse is what it is.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
townhouse. Okay, that's what
So
it
it's a
is.
brand new structure.
And it's a townhouse. Makes sense.
Yeah. So somebody got a good deal on a lot and built. They're gonna make some money on this. They look pretty nice.
Well, we don't know how much they paid and how much it cost them.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna sell that in that location for 1.5, let's see if we can find out what they paid. Looks like it never came on the market before. Anyway, all the power to them. 1130 South Gramercy Drive. This is east of Crenshaw, south of Olympic, north of Pico. Definitely not what I would call Hancock Park. Move on. 585 North Beechwood. This is in Larchmont Village, just a couple of blocks east of Larchmont. Jackie Smith of Compass. 2 beds, 2 baths, 1,500 square feet, $1,479,000. Beautifully staged. Wonder who she uses for staging. Small house, small lot, $1,479,000. That's going to be at the lower end of the price range. Good block. So your buyers who are stretching from $1.2 million and want a little bit more, this is a good house for them. That is listed at $976 a foot, which is not crazy. 1259 Westchester Place. Boy, this is way over in Country Club Park at Arlington. Again, not really an area of Hancock Park. Courtney Pickard of Compass has it for $1,395,000. That's $569 a square foot with 2,450 square feet. I do like Country Club, and it looks like it's been nicely redone. And here you can get a house with 2,400 square feet for $1,395,000 in what is a very historic area. Westchester Place is a very historic road. I believe it is the same street that has some other incredible mansions on that street that are Hancock Park worthy. 423 and a half South Wilton is the townhouse on Wilton, $1,200,000. Courtney Pickard, is that the same? That's 2 listings for her in different parts of town in a row. So she's having a good week. 1107 St. Andrews Place, also outside of the Hancock Park proper area in Country Club Park. St. Andrews is a decent little street, $999, $1,000, 1,761 square feet, $567 a foot. Listed by Jeff Lemon. Nice guy. So here's your $1 million listing, folks. If you have somebody at that price range Definitely needs some work. All righty. So that's the listings for the week. Now let's take a look at what's been put into escrow recently, the most recent activity. And this time I think I'm going to just do the ones that are active under contract, because that will tell us the ones that just happened as opposed to the ones that have gone from active under contract to pending, which is the next stage. So let's see if I can status date this. Okay. So, oops, not there. Okay, so this should be the most recent activity in the last week, and it looks like going back to the 13th, which is a week ago, we've had 8 go into escrow. $339 Highland, this came and went in a heartbeat. This was the house that was the, what do you call that? The Los Angeles Times Architectural House of the Week. This was owned by a couple of architectural historians at the Getty Center, a couple, and 2.299. It was heavily covered by a lot of different marketing real estate company publications because of its, I guess, its grandeur as well as its pedigree. Apparently, being a curator at the Getty makes your house be rather. Now that's a small yard. Very small yard. But they didn't have any problem selling that. It came on the market about a week ago.
Was that sold recently?
Yeah, it just came on.
No. What I mean is, was that, had these people bought it within the last few years? It seems so familiar, that address.
Sold last in 1998.
Oh, okay, long time then. Okay.
So I am not impressed with the yard. Let's look at this yard. It's off of Highland. Boy, I mean, that's just, there's no yard there. This is the whole house. So that must be a rather, it's on the west side of Highland, which is going to have smaller lots. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
And so the lot was only 8,100 versus, for example, the one on the other side of the street with 10,500. So you're looking at a 2,500 square foot difference, which is the footprint of a whole house. So that's a big difference. So they did real well. That's Joe Silic, Joe and Bruno, nice guys. Did a deal with them last year. 826 South Citrus. Now this is south of Wilshire. We still call this Hancock Park adjacent, right?
No.
South of Wilshire, what do we call it? It's west of Brookside. Sandy, are you still with us?
Yes, I think it's Sycamore Square.
Thank you.
Sycamore Square. I love it. 4 beds, 2 baths, 1,900 square feet, $942 a square foot, 1.8 million, which is pretty aggressive. Sherry Beanstalk, she knows what she's doing, so it must have been totally redone. Beanstalk style. Let's look at the staging. Yeah. All white, gray, and very muted darker colors. Looks like she's starting to paint dark walls now. That's a new twist. Got your seafoam green kitchen. That's very popular these days. Same in the bathroom. I wonder, Very nice. 1.8 million though. That's a big price for that neighborhood. I'm curious, who is the owner on this guy? Wondering if it's a Beanstalk flip. Net Zero Citrus LLC. Do you know who that is? Is that a code word for Beanstalk?
No, she doesn't flip.
He doesn't flip anymore?
She says not.
Oh, okay. 324 South Muirfield.
You know, she maybe said she doesn't, but she's had some houses from before that she's flipping. Like, for instance, her McCadden, that's her own house.
Okay.
Well,
No, she didn't live in it. No, she bought it to sell.
oh,
27. That's what I'm saying. So it could be that some houses that she had bought, maybe now she's not doing that, but she has in the past.
okay.
You see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
So 6 beds, 5 baths at 324 South Muirfield. I've got a funny story about this one. 4,700 square feet. Excellent location on Muirfield. Primo trophy lot. 3,999. Listed for just a short time. Sold within a couple of weeks in multiples. I knocked on this door when I started out in Hancock Park, and the guy who opened it, this was back in probably 2015. An elder, very, very distinguished elderly gentleman, told me that he had bought the house as a young man in 1948.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're talking just after the war, World War II, and he had owned it since then. Then, but we had a nice conversation. Then he came, then, you know, maybe a year later, I came back and knocked on the door, and he was upstairs, and his lady,
Dickie.
his housekeeper answered the door, and he came down and he said to me, "Get out of here. If I ever sell this place, it's going to be with the Woodwards." And since then, he kept true to his promise, and it is on the market with Andrew and Mary Woodward.
Sure.
Sold. Yeah.
And sold.
The old Olson family.
Yeah, his name was Ken, right?
Yeah, Ken Olson and Dickie Olson.
I remember this hallway very well. He came down that stairway, and he knew exactly who his agent was.
Yep.
And it was Dorothy, right? Is something like that?
Dickie.
Dickie.
Dickie, uh-huh. Stands for something.
Can you imagine?
Ah,
1948. That is the longest I have ever heard anyone owning a house that, you know, to date.
Yeah.
You don't see that. I mean, you hear 60s and 70s, but 40s? What was the world like in 1948? It was a whole different world here in Hancock Park.
Yeah.
Eric, it's Sandy again. I have to mention that 801 South Longwood, I'm going to correct the price. It's actually listed for $2,450,000. I misspoke. But that house had never been on the market before I listed it. Or Rick and I listed it.
Oh my God! Wait.
Never been on the market.
450, not 4,450,000.
No, it's 2,450. That's the asking price, and we're closing on Friday.
What was the one that you had said you had for 4.5?
Yeah, I misspoke. I
Okay.
transposed the numbers. So
Okay.
sorry for that. But
That's okay. I was going to say
never been on the market. The owner lived to be 98. She would have been 100 years old last month. And there was an article in the Chronicle, October Chronicle, about her. Her name is Rosemary Hill. Dear lady. Really amazing.
So he bought it new?
So he actually built the house. Her father built the house. She was raised in the house. And when she was, so I guess I think she was 6 or 7 when the house was finished and they moved in.
oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
it's a nice story.
It is a good story. And her daughter, my client, lives in Arizona, but she's been back and forth, and they're clearing it out. And the buyers are keeping a lot of the furniture, really some wonderful antiques, and it's a win-win. Family moving into the neighborhood and going to raise their children there. So good deal.
Nice. Well, I have an interesting story too. About the brokerage back in the days, real estate brokerage on Larchmont. I have a listing at 222 North Windsor. Wonderful older lady, 93 years old. The house is only 4 years older than her. It was built in 1923, and she bought it in 1961 from a company, a brokerage here on Larchmont called Dipple. Anybody recognize that name?
Yeah, of course, we all do.
Yes, definitely.
Now, how long was Dipple here? And did they get bought out by Coldwell or John Douglas, or what happened to them?
I think they just closed. That may be wrong. Maybe Kathy has a better answer. But there were 5 at the time when I got my license in 1988. There were 5 brokerages on Larchmont.
What were they?
What were they? Well, Dipple and Coldwell Banker, John Douglas, and I can't even remember what the other 2 are.
Prudential.
Oh, Prudential was there too. And then what was the other one? Do you remember?
Can't remember.
Kathy?
Not.
But I
not
think-
Bell-
But Dipple was there a lot longer than the other one.
Oh,
they were
yes.
the first ones.
It was a family owned. Yeah, it was a
Yes.
family owned.
Yes.
Right. They were the first ones on Larchmont.
Fascinating. What in the world? 5 brokerages on one street?
Yes. Crazy, huh? Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez, they must have, I guess it was a kinder, gentler time and people didn't step on each other's toes, huh?
No, I don't think
No.
so. No.
No.
Coldwell Banker ruled.
This was back when you'd earn like $350 on a commission.
Just about.
Not that low.
898 South Victoria. This is in the Windsor, what do we call this? Windsor, Windsor Square.
No.
Wait.
No, Windsor Village.
No.
Windsor Village. Thank
Yeah.
you. Windsor Village,
Windsor
South
Village.
Windsor. This is a beautiful historic street. It's a little close to Crenshaw, but otherwise full of beautiful homes, 2-story, 100 years old, 3 beds, 4 baths, 2,700 square feet, $2 million. In escrow after 32 days with Elijah Shin, doing a lot of business in that neighborhood. Seems to be the go-to guy there. Looks in good shape. $2 million though. If I had $2 million, I'd be buying something else. I'd be buying in a better location. 527 North Cherokee. This is in a great location. And it is in Little Hancock Park on the west side of the golf course. 5 beds, 5 baths, 3,800 square feet. What's the other one? 2,700 square feet. Here you can get 3,800 square feet for 2.5 as opposed to 2. And it's in a much better location. And the house looks beautiful. This isn't the one that Rick sold, was it? Last year?
I don't know.
Oh, it definitely needs some work.
Well, what do you expect for that price?
Yeah. A lot of work.
Yeah.
Big 2-story guest house. Let's see. Was this Rick's last year? No, Rick's was in good shape. So no, this isn't that one. This one hasn't been on the market. Oh boy. I think I just. I love this feature. I just by myself knocked myself out, and this feature allows me to go right back to where I was. It's right here in this, right next to the save search box called searches. Just go down to the second one, and I am right back to where I was in case I knock myself out. And that was 527 Cherokee. So we're going to go, that's the 14th. So we're going to do a few more of these here down to the 12th. And that'll give us the last week. We're at 11:47 a.m. So we're right on schedule.
Yeah.
So here we have 1230 Wilton. This is a beautiful looking house on Wilton. However, it is in the, this is in the, as you're going down Wilton, when you get to where it turns into Arlington, Wilton continues south and becomes a quiet neighborhood street. It's just north of Pico, in escrow, 21 days on market. Oh, I need to get the agent detail. 12,482 square foot. You can get a lot of house down here, but 2.3 isn't cheap. Juliet Honan, Douglas Elliman. Obviously a beauty. Well done, beautifully staged, all the modern touches, all the perfect colors. Look at that. You got the blue on the gold with the tan, the whites. These are really pretty pictures. Look at that. Now we're doing dark colored walls these days. I wonder who the stager was. I'm going to have to ask them. That's just beautifully done. Outside. Very California. Guest house. True traditional. I love that balcony up there. Patio. If it were only a few blocks farther north. 233 South Lucerne. And this is going to be in, do we have a name for this? This is west of, Larchmont, east of Rossmore. It's those two streets that go all the way from 3rd to 6th. They're rather unique in their location. It's almost like they were left out when the developers were building the big houses. Usually south of 1st are all big houses, except for this tiny little pocket. Anybody have anything to say about that?
Mm-mm.
Well, it's really south of, all along Windsor Square. It's south of 3rd Street that the big house is.
No, if you go over here.
Not Hancock
Right.
Park, but Windsor Square.
Yeah, over here we have Windsor Square, and the big houses start at south of 1st, up here.
Not really, not so many big ones first. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I door knocked this neighborhood. These are all big houses.
Okay. We'll go with that.
They become small right here at 1st. See how you can see the lot sizes are smaller? See here? These are small lots. These are big lots. So these are all big from 1st south all the way across, except on Lucerne and Ardent. They're small. It's like they got left out. Or maybe the developer at that time had also purchased that when he was building Larchmont Village. I'm not sure. Anyway, I always wondered about that.
Okay.
Yeah, gosh, let's go back. So 233 Lucerne, 2.4 million, 2 beds, 3 baths, 2,300 square feet, 8,400 lot, over $1,000 a square foot, listed by Jenna Cooper. So you can usually expect a nice looking house with great staging when you have her. So what is it? 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms upstairs. In escrow after 56 days. 1014 South Lucerne. This is going to be just in the Windsor Village neighborhood, just north of Olympic by a house. 3 beds, 2 baths, 1760 square feet for $1.4 million. That's almost 800 a foot by Nicole Bray of Curb. Anybody know anything about Curb?
No.
Like a E company or something. 1.4 million. That's not the lowest price in that neighborhood. Looks okay, but boy, you're close to Olympic. 555 North Irving, right in the middle of Larchmont Village. 1.3 million. Boy, that's, and they had to drop their price. Wow. Was 1,379. You'd think anything for 1,379 would get offers. 3 beds, 3 baths, and it even had 1,400 square feet. 5,000 lot. Looks like there must have been something. Catherine Gellert of Compass had it, or has it. It's in escrow now, but she had to drop her price before it went into escrow. It must need some work. Needs a new kitchen. But still, you can't get a house for 1.3 anymore. Barely. Maybe the photos are better than reality, but it looks okay. So she dropped her price 87,000, 79,000 down to 1,299 and then got it sold. Originally listed it in July, so 80 days on market. Can you believe it's been 80 days since July? All right, that is that. So again, to do recap, we have 50 escrows going. We have 9 houses that sold with only 2 over 3 million. So we still have a dearth of houses. Let's see the actives and under contracts over 4 million. Let's see how many of those we have. It just seems like they're going real slow. We had a little pickup there, and then it just stopped again. If we go down to the start of the 4 million range, we have 34 listings in escrow. I mean, active or in escrow, over 4 million. And not as many in the 3s, but over 4. Let's see the just the in escrows. Let's see what's sold in that range.
It's a little bit under 1,500.
So in that range, going into escrow, over 4 million, only 4. Well, let's say 5. Only 5 over 4 million going into escrow, and we have 20. What was the number? 27. So that is not, these things are not flying off the shelf. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. But they're not flying off the shelf. Seems like they're flying off the shelf more if they haven't gone on market almost. So 5, that's a 5-month, 6-month. If you take 5 escrows and you take 27 actives, that's 5 escrows for every. I'm sorry, that's 5 months of inventory over $5 million, over $4 million, and that is a pretty big number compared to what else is selling. Everything under 2 million seems to sell quickly. Anybody have any final comments on that? Any counter conversations? Any rebuttals to that analysis? So if you have a house and your client has a house over $4 million, you have to be cautious,
And by the way, let me
because you don't want to sit there and be lost in a mix of over 20 houses. They're not flying off the shelf, and all this talk that's making sellers really, really, excited and confident about the market. I'm not seeing that over 4 million. We are seeing it under 3. It's like on fire, and between 3 and 4, it's so-so. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 3s. When in the 3s we have active. Let's see what we have in the active side of the 3s. Wait, is that active? No, that's. It's funny. In the course of this conversation, another one went into escrow. Okay, in the 3s, for sale, we had 3 or 4 in escrow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 4 in escrow, 12 for sale, which is pretty healthy. So this really is a very price conscious market. Any comment?
Agreed.
Thank you. Okay, well, it's 11:58. I've used up all my time. I appreciate all you guys being there and throwing out your comments. It's very interesting history here that we talked about with the real estate brokerages, and love to hear more about that and bring in some interesting anecdotes during this otherwise very dry conversation about numbers and houses. So anybody have any interesting stories, don't hesitate in the future. And until then, we'll see you next week, Tuesday, October 28th, 27th. Until then, I hope you guys all kick some butt this week and get some listeners.
Thank you,
Eric.
Eric. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Eric.
Thank you.
Bye, Eric.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.